Okay, I think recording is good. So today we'll be looking at building RAG systems. Okay, retrieval-augmented generation. So we're going to explain it, and then we're going to understand the fundamentals and how to do it basically. And then when next we meet, we'll build something more reasonable. So let's look at few things we did yesterday. Yesterday we talked about fundamentals of using LangChain, and then we looked at the basics. And today I know we now know what LangChain is and what it is used for and how we can utilize it in our daily lives or our daily activities. Okay. So, and also that yesterday we also discussed good morning, Mr. Collins. Yesterday we discussed about how to, we had some few basic bonus classes, not basic actually, but at least something reasonable, something you can use for your daily lives, or you can even use commercially. Let's say someone wants a graphics, you can do that for them, animation, and so on and so forth. And funny enough, that animation trick I showed you how to use yesterday, uh, you can use it for quite a lot of stuffs, not just for give animation. You can use it for game development as well. Let's say for people who are into game development and you need sprite sheet. If you already understand what a sprite sheet is, like you see the way the images are arranged in different frames. That's what a sprite sheet is. It's a different frame of images arranged in one image. Okay, you know, the image is one big image containing frames of animation of other images. Okay, that's what a sprite sheet is. So you saw that yesterday we were able to create a logo animation through using ChatGPT, and how we're able to come across that. Not just ChatGPT, we're able to use two uh, two sprites for generation. Then let me see the name of the platform again. Yeah, sprites, tools.sprite resources. Okay, that's what we used yesterday, and is a sprite toolkit. So the reason why they are using the word sprite is because when you talk about sprite is a terminology used for game developers. Okay, and some of us might not understand what it means. Sprite is just an image. Okay, a single frame of an image. Yeah, let's just say a single frame of an animation. Single frame of an animation. Let's say someone wants to start running. Okay, you know, if you're playing a game and someone wants to start running on the game, the running frame starts from somewhere, maybe from when the person was still standing or raising one leg up and so on and so forth. And the frame keeps going and going and going until the last of the run frame is complete and repeats. Okay, that's the one of those frames is what is called sprite. Then all the frames is what is called sprite sheets. Okay, That's what makes up an animation. All right. So today we'll be looking at RAG basics, building RAG systems. And first of all, it's just the basics. So part 11 of our lesson notes, retrieval-augmented generation explained. I'm going to explain this. It's commonly abbreviated RAG. Okay. It retrieves relevant information from an external knowledge source and includes it in the prompt response. Okay. Now, let's say, for instance, you're creating a prompt. You're creating a way to you want to create a model for trading, for instance. Okay, want to create a model for trading, and then you've already trained the model on how the stock prices or how the crypto prices, how they behave and everything. But then, in order for the model to be very, very precise and okay, now the model is not trained to know about the news in the market about that particular cryptocurrency or about that particular stock. So RAG makes it possible that you will be able to retrieve the information from an external source, include it in the prompt, and then send it to the model. Now, the model will now have enough information to give you a response for that particular cryptocurrency or stock, because that will mean the model will either tell you, oh, you can buy or you can hold or sell everything, some things like that. So with the information you retrieve from external source, which is not included in the model, in the training of this particular model, you retrieve those information uh, from the from the external source, and you included it in the prompt. Now, the prompt is taking those information you included in the prompt as a content context. Remember, we talked about the content context, right? How contents are added as context, okay, instead of prompt, but just a context. All right. So you are giving it a content context. Based on that content context, the model will be able to answer you correctly. So now we're going to look at several ways you can do this. You see, this allows the model to answer accurately using information it was not trained on, such as private company document. Okay, let's say if we're going to also look at RAG, um, how RAG works. So in order for RAG to work, RAG needs a vector database, all right, and it needs embedding and search semantics. Okay, so we're going to look at what a vector database is first before we move on. A vector database stores content as numerical representation and allows queries by similar rather than exact keyword match. Okay, numerical representation. So this is a way uh, of storing values in numbers. All right. They include daily base 10 digits, computer binary codes. So instead of storing it the normal way that we normally store values in the database, one or using strings or using numbers, we end up or using integers. Okay, you might not understand integers, numbers actually. You end up using binary. Okay, so it's a numerical, it's stored in a numerical representation. Okay, that way it's easier and faster to fetch. Okay, and when you're searching for it, all you have to search for is the numerical representation, not the keyword itself. When you search for that numerical representation, the keywords, everything, all information for that particular data is retrieved successfully. All right. Now, there are several types of infrastructure infrastructure that help you achieve this, because uh, when it comes to normal database query and database management and so on and so forth, there are several databases we can use like MySQL and Postgres, blah blah blah, etc. But for vector database, we have Pinecone. All right, Pinecone. So it's an open source database. All right, and there is also a Weaviate. Okay, and Weaviate as well is a vector database, but it's based. You can use any of those databases, and it helps a lot because it will cut you a lot of work to do. And there's also Chroma. Okay, is a lightweight and well suited to local development and prototyping. So if you want to be developing your AI locally, then it's best to use Chroma. But if you want a fully managed database infrastructure, you use Pinecone. Okay, then you have, that is to say, you have to do it on your own, fully managed uh, database. But this fully managed is not you managing it. Actually, is an external third party managing the database. Weaviate is open source, available as managed cloud or self-hosted. You can either manage it yourself or on the cloud, or you host it yourself. Chroma is lightweight and well suited to local development and prototyping. Now, embedded and semantic search, which is the second thing I said we'll be looking at the in today's session. So, an embedded is a numerical representation of text that captured its meaning, allowing similar concepts to be located near or one another vector in space. Semantic search uses this property to find content that is conceptual related to the query, rather than only contents that are shared the same exact keywords. So it's more like when we are searching for the normal database, there's how we do it. We say find ID where so and so is this, or find ID where username equals to so and so. Okay, that's a bit straightforward. Now, in vector database, you use numerical representation to search for a particular context or to query a particular context. And for you to do that, you can embed two or more uh, numerical representation to search and to query the database directly. And semantic search uses property to find the content, okay, which is related to the query. All right. That the semantic itself really helps you understand your query, because that's actually what gives the query a bit of meaning for you. And the semantic itself, I think, should be on the front end side, whereby those search is being converted to a numerical representation embedded, and then the information is retrieved successfully. I think with everything I've just explained, which is today, so I think we have a lab here, which is say build a document question and answer system. Okay, load small set of documents using LangChain document loader, split. So since we don't have any of the LangChain accounts, you can actually get one yourself. It would have been easier for me to show you how to do all of this. We have accounts, but most of these accounts for LangChain is all paid. All right, so you can create accounts, and then I will be dropping the steps of how to do this in the group later, so everybody can follow that steps if they want to complete the the process of building this particular project. So that will be all for today. Like I said, we have bonus classes, and I would like us to participate in this class because since we have very few people attending this particular session, and that is one of the reasons why we are going to uh, take on this bonus class for today. So if you remember vividly, yesterday we talked about how you can build animations, because this class, if you go to our platform, you discover that this class is not meant for just one person. It's very generic. Okay. So in order for us to achieve the generic nature of the class, we have to dip our foot in a lot of bonus classes, and which is to come. So everybody is going to learn uh, everything that's pertaining their own field and how those things are achieved in real life. Okay. So we're going to look at all those things. For a start, we've looked at hold on. Okay, we've looked at UI UX, how to design or develop, and how to create data, and how to create our showcase and everything, our planning. But on this part of that UI UX, we have not looked at a very key important feature. Okay, we've looked at graphics design, how to go about uh, editing of making of flyers, or there's a whole range of everything that I'm going to show in this particular course. I'm going to show we've looked at how to make flyers, we looked at how to create animations, which is just part of it. Okay, but today I will be showing how to make banners. I'll show how to make UI UX all the way from scratch to finish. Okay, so but before I go on the UI UX part, which is going to be our last and finishing part of the course for today. Before I go on the UI UX part, I will like to show how to make banners. So I'm going to share my screen. Can we all see it? Can we all see my
Yes, we can
screen?
see it. See it.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. So looking at the so first of all, we open up Pinterest. Okay, so this is Pinterest. And then also remember you have also open up your Google. So we're going to start with Google. First of all, we are going to search for something. Let's say we are making banners for an e-commerce platform. Hmm. Let me show you an example. I think, okay, let me leave that one. Okay, let's say we're making a banner for an e-commerce platform, right? And this e-commerce platform, their name is Okay, let's say Conga, right? Conga is a real life e-commerce platform, or we can call it Cage. Okay, so we say Black Friday banner. Currently, my VPN is in Japan, so sorry about that. So uh most of the search return will be Japan based. Sorry. So now you can look at here. We see this is a flyer, not what we want. We want a banner. Mm, So let's look for something nice. Yeah, this is really great. So I'm going to search for the same thing. I already have an account here, so I'll just continue. So this is basically most UI UX. So we're going to be using Pinterest for our UI UX, UI UX development, not for the banner part of it. Okay. So now we have our Black Friday banner. You can see how the banner looks. So it's mostly similar to everything we've done in the past. Remember yesterday we introduced a new way of prompting when you don't want the AI to do anything at all. So always remember this. So and so we're going to paste the banner first, and then we're going to look for a company logo. So there are a bunch of company logos out here. Mm, mm, let's use this one. Uh, maybe let's use this one. I think this one is good. So I'll just copy this and paste it. See, max upload one at a time. That's crazy. I think that's new. Probably because of my. Okay, I know what to do. Uh, uh, so I'm going to log in. To continue with Google. It's kind of taking a bit longer. Okay, since there's no logo here, this is going to be a bit weird. I really need the logo part of it. because that's what drives the context. So the image here is a is a con, content. Okay. So this image here is more like retrieval augmented generation. So we ourselves, we are the one that did the retrieval and argumentation ourselves. So we retrieve the information from a third party source, which is Google, and then we pasted it on GPT, ChatGPT. So uh, this is taking time. So what will happen is I will just skip this part and submit this. So it's going to analyze the image. Let me try pasting the logo. Let me try pasting the logo again. I think this logo is watermarked. So let me use this one that doesn't have watermark. This is crazy. Okay, that's an advert. Okay, now I'm going to generate. So I will say using since I can't upload any more images, I'll just say using a random e-commerce company logo for KG Express. Yeah, KG Express is more like the name of the platform, right? So this is the first context. Create. Now, this, everything we're doing here, we are retrieving arguments outside this particular program. So I'm more like teaching you the manual way of retrieval augmented generation. Okay. The picture was retrieved from Google, which is outside ChatGPT. Now I'm going to retrieve one more thing from outside ChatGPT. So I'll go outside ChatGPT. I will say banner sizes. So this is very important. When generating of banners, you need to know the size of banner you're trying to generate. Okay, if it's flyer based, uh, if it's uh, a large screen banner or for a short screen banner. So now these are standard sizes. Okay, these are standard sizes, and this is the standard size I will use now. Okay, see this one, 550, 560. So I'll be using 500 by 60. So I'll go back here, create 500 by 60 banner using provided image reference. Now, there's one more thing we want to specify here. So now we have primary color. So we want the company color to be, in fact, yellow. And so remember, we always go to colors.co for picking of colors when dealing with hex code, and we don't want to start remembering their codes. So it's better we use the color codes. Okay. So I'm going to go all the way from here. So I'm going to choose a color I want to look for. So the color I'm looking for is the color yellow. So I'm going to go all the way here. I think that's fine. So now I'll scroll down to look for yellow on the good side, yellow on a good side, yellow on a good side, on a good side. I think I'll go with this one. So now, now you see even our color is retrieved, is a retrieved argument. Okay. So now I'm going to send this while our image is being generated. So while looking at this, you discover that our image was generated exactly 500 by 60. Okay, and it's generated using the name KG Express, but a random logo. Okay, and we created the banner and everything using the same reference of everything we have here. So you can see here our banner is ready. Nice looking banner, by the way. So you can see it has KG Express, perfectly designed banner using the same practice pattern and everything, but now a new logo, everything branded just the way it feels, like makes it looks more professional, better. So the difference between you and anybody that will be using this method to create graphics is your graphics will look very, very exceptional. If you don't want to make everything look the same, like the picture you just picked from Google or anything, you can merge two pictures. It will now be, instead of one Black Friday banner here, you can have 3 or 4 Black Friday banner, and you use them as reference to create a brand new uh, Black Friday banner. Okay, this makes your work smooth, fast, professional, and simple. Okay, so that's it for the banner generation tactics, and we'll look at the UI UX design from scratch. So now that brings us back to Pinterest. Remember we opened Pinterest at the beginning. So Pinterest is more like a place where you search for like you search for inspirations about designs from other developers, just like Dribble. Remember we talked about Dribble in the past. So Pinterest is good, very good. So what we'll be looking at is a homepage for KG Express. So we'll say homepage for e-commerce. Okay, so this is going to be what we have. We're going to search for homepage for e-commerce. So looking at everything here, you see there are different tons of homepage for different tons of e-commerce platforms. Okay, there are tons of homepage for them. Look at this one. This one is good. Okay, there are tons of homepage. So we're going to look for one that is going to be very, very cool and very okay. Okay, this is more like the application part of it. You get to see a lot of. So you see in Pinterest, you see more pictures for inspiration purposes. Okay, and this is going to really help you, guide you on which image to use, on that particular design. Okay, now looking at this, I think we will go with something like this one. This one looks a bit not bad, better. Okay, so now I'm going to open this image in a new. So this is the image called Technova. This is the platform. This is how it looks. So it's not that doesn't have much context here. So now, as a designer, first thing you do is you create documents of what your project is all about. Okay, there's something called use cases. You create the use case of what your product is talking about. Okay, it's more like the way we planned our projects before building them. All right. So as a full stack developer, first thing you do is you have to plan your project. But before you start planning your project, you have to know what your project is all about. Okay. So let's say we are building an e-commerce platform first. First thing we do is we have to know what and what can user do on our platform after we're done. So we have to be specific. And this particular problem, this is where a lot of developers do mistakes. You know, for a project that got stuck during development, the problem is actually from the foundation, which is the use case. If the use cases are not considered, there are if the use cases are not considered properly and you start developing, there will always be mistakes, because at the end of the day, core use cases of product, if they are not implemented, the project will be stopped and you end up not completing the aim of development for that particular project. Okay, with that all being much said, let's move to the first phase, which is developing of use case. So this is how you create use case in modern day development. Because if you reference, let's say for instance, if you say I'm building a platform like AliExpress, blah 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 blah, and I send it back, you know what will happen? Uh, GPT, ChatGPT will go through AliExpress. It knows all AliExpress features and everything, and it will bring it out. For some of those features you might not want, you'll start removing features, adding features, removing features, and so on and so forth. So don't do this. So what you do here is, first, remember we always use this. Don't forget to use this. So I want to build a project for an e-commerce platform. Okay, a project for an e-commerce platform. Well, users can log in. Users can log in slash. Now, this is very important because you are because this time around, you're not creating a context. Okay, so you use the column symbol. You can see the column here, double column. Okay, so use the column symbol. So you say users can log in. Now, the user's can will just be there. So users can log in, register, slash, recover password. So this is the authentication part. Change password. Accept terms and condition. Now, why everything I'm doing here, I'm looking at it in the UI perspective. The login has a login page. The register has a register page. So what I'm trying to tell this AI is that there should be a login page, there should be a register page, there should be a recover password page, there should be a change password page, there should be accept terms and condition page. Okay. Now, there's a slash.
I believe that first um, word, don't anything. You are saying don't do anything, Abi?
Yes, don't do, sorry,
Okay. You
don't do
omitted.
anything. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Don't do anything. So, thank you for that. All right. So now choose role. Now, remember, um, whenever you have, uh, whenever you have a a sub context, right? Always put it in a bracket. So this role we are choosing is a subcontext, is two roles, which is uh, customer, also known as AKA buyer, and seller, AKA vendor. Okay, so this is meaning. You can continue by saying slash, and we keep going and going and going and going. So choose role, see homepage, explore. Now the homepage is vast, so we have to put that explore new arrivals. We have to put that the uh, inside the subcontext. New arrival features, um, hot, trending, deals. Now, you see, our page is becoming this is becoming very big because now we have highlighted most of what users can do in this platform. Okay, let's round up very fast. Now, the final one, manage profile, manage actions. So this is vendor base. Now, if you want something to be for a particular person or a particular role, always use the @ symbol. Okay. So now, after using the @ symbol, you have to list the actions you are talking about, like listing, coupons, orders. Now, leave the rest to that. You see, everything here this particular prompt is very large. But what makes it large is Just make sure you highlight everything you want. The core functionalities of this particular project must be highlighted in this text, in this prompt. So I'm just going to put a full stop and I'm going to put a second etc. And then I'm going to highlight the name of this platform, which is KG Express. Okay. So it's not going to do anything. It's just going to take note of everything we just okay. So you see everything just the way we want it. Authentication, terms, rows, homepage, see the profile, the vendor, the e-commerce platform functionality to expand. So now we have gotten almost everything. Now with everything we have, we say develop a professional use case from given data. Now subcontents. Okay. Now we're going to get a set of use case. Okay. So you see, we have everything. This is our use case. You see the logo, the welcome back, forget password, account, the verification part of it, the terms, the role, the customer homepage. See, just the way we want it. The mobile part of it, the explore, the filters, and so on and so forth. Now, our use case is being generated, and at the end of the day, we'll have a full working use case for this particular project. I think the data is too large, so it's going to take a bit of time to load. Okay, this is it. So we have wish list, we have vendor details, coupons, we have vendor storefront, search, UI, UX, and almost everything we have, the messaging part of it, the review and ratings, the vendor analytics, security part, and everything. Now, look at this important part. This is the places, most of the things here, we're supposed to develop them first as a UI UX developer. You develop these things first, which is the empty states, the empty wish list, the no vendors, and so on and so forth. Okay, develop all these things first. So this is the MVP for the UI UX. See everything, authentication. See, terms and condition has a screen on it of its own based on the specified on it. Okay. Now the customer section has its own screens, about 15 of them, and the vendor section have its own screen, about 13 of them, and we have a shared section for both, which is 5, which is a total of 40 screens. And this 40 screens is not even complete. It's still missing a lot of screens. Okay. Now, after we are done with the use case, the next thing we're going to do the design schema. Next. Now we're going to specify, remember we used the yellow, right? When we are choosing our color, we used yellow. So let's say use as primary color. So we say hash F F F F F02. Okay, I think this is yellow. And then hash F F F 006 66. This is another color. No comma. Now we have to specify the kind of font we want. Okay, now we're going to go to fonts. Go to Google. I think this is it. So we're going to go to fonts.google.com. We're going to look for good fonts. So we have lots of fonts. Lots of fonts. I think let's use a Roboto for it. So we'll copy this. Let's be fast because of our time. Okay. So we send this. And then while this is loading, we have to open up uh, Stitch with Google. I'm going to show you. So we're still designing the schema. So this is Stitch. We're going to use Stitch for this project. So we're going to select blank project, okay? This is good. So we're going to give Stitch, okay. It's almost done. So now this is the design schema for KG Express. The design schema, everything that we need. While we wait for it to finish generation, so the generation is complete. I think it's still taking some time to load. Let's wait for it a bit. Okay. It's almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, there. So I'm going to copy everything here. And I'm going to give it to Stitch. I'm going to say do anything. Or you can also create your own design.md. Okay. So I can create a new one, select everything I want, or I can just paste what I have here. Save. You can see the design.md was created for me from scratch based on my design. So Stitch will create my design for me, everything. So this is my design.md. You can see this is how my design is going to look like and how everything is going to be. So now I'm going to go back to this place here. I'm going to scroll all the way up because we're going to need our use case. So I'm just going to design a little, just uh, the first, how many screens? I think we have 7 screens for authentication. 7 screens, yeah. So I'll say design all authentication screen. Now, here comes my content. Okay, I'm going to paste everything I have here. And now I have 3 flash. I can select any of the, the models I want. Now I'm going to send to create this. So it's going to create the authentication screens just the way it is. You see, I've given it guidelines of everything that I want. So what I'm going to get is the authentication screen. As you can see here, I have 3 screens being generated: first, second, and third. Okay, it's 3 screens. So the first, now if you check our design, you will discover that this is almost similar to what we have in our design. Because we choose mobile development, that is why everything is coming in mobile. All right. So we didn't choose the the we didn't choose the the web version of it. So we just chose mobile. So I say design the next 4. So now we already have role and everything. So what we'll do, we'll just come here, take out the rest, copy, and then next, paste everything here. We already have login, so we take login out. We have register, take register out. We have email, phone verification. We don't have forget password, reset password. So we have role. So we already have all that. So we say next, content bracket, and then press send. And the next phase will be the remaining parts of the. So you see, we now have 4 screens being generated, which is the remaining 4 of the authentication screens. So this is basically how UI UX is done using AI tools. And I know this class is kind of gotten a bit longer, and some of us might want to end the class, and while some of us might want us to continue. But I think we'll have to end today's session here because, as you can see, we have everything. Our UI UX is looking pretty good. But on the web side, web part of it, we might want to make it look more in a web version. So, but I'm just going to give us an assignment of using this image. It's going to be more for us and everybody. I would like everybody to post their own design in the group. Okay. At least from now till Monday, use it or do it on your free time. post your own design on the group so everybody deliberate on it. So here we can use the design or we can use something similar. You paste your design in the group and then paste where the image reference you used also in the group so that we'll know where your image reference is coming from. So here you can see we have a very nice design, but if we want this design to be focused around, you can even see the design. The font is using the same font we specified in our use case file. Okay, this makes your designing very fast and sleek and smooth. Perfect. Nobody is going to rival you because all your designs is going to be so unique and different from others. Okay, I think that will be all for today's class. Remember to post your design in the group and make your design even more than mine. Okay. Uh, all right, Mr. Collins. I think you want to say something.
Okay, my question is it possible that, okay, maybe we see a design that is only mobile, and of course, we are probably doing for web. We need both mobile design and the web design, right? That's the desktop screen. So
Yeah.
will it not, now you have already done for the mobile? Can we not
Okay.
use just a prompt to say, let's um, Stitch create the like a desktop version of the mobile design, and then it will now rearrange content and all those ones? Can we
No,
not do
no.
that?
You can actually specify. Let's say the login. This is the login, right? If you click on this login here, and you see we have modify, we have preview. Now, the preview part, we have more. Okay. Now, the generate. Now, this generate part, I can just click on the web, the desktop version, and I will have the desktop version of this particular UI. And also, when designing, I can also specify that I want. You can see the desktop version is being generated. The mobile will now be pushed aside while the desktop version is put in the middle. See, that's why uh, it's very conducive to do it this way. Okay, so it makes sense sometimes why when designing to use this approach because everything will actually fit your design pattern. So, do you have anything other thing to say? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so don't remember to uh, paste your own design in the group. At least before Monday, I want to be seeing designs from everybody in the group. So as far as you're part of this bonus class, is very important. I see your design and we all discuss on it. If there's any question, feel free to ask so that uh,
It's a question.
okay, go ahead, please.
Please, will today's video be dropped today? So we can use it as practice exercise.
Okay, all right, I'll see what I can do in dropping the video today. I'll try my best to drop it. But the fact is, the reason for the late dropping of the video is um, Google usually take time before dropping the video in the meeting folder. So that's why it always takes time. If you see, remember, if you check, you discover that yesterday's video came in too early because they dropped it way too early as well. So if they were able to drop it earlier today, I will be dropping it tonight or evening time, possibly. Hope that's fine.
Yes, sir.
All right, that will be all for today's class. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you next week.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.